Helmets Off is now on. I'm your host, Scott Mitchell, and of course, it's that time of year again for Thanksgiving. We want to wish all of you a happy holiday, happy Thanksgiving. One of my favorite times of the year. I love to cook a turkey. Oh, do I love to cook a turkey. And actually, I smoke it, I brine it, and it is phenomenal. One of my favorite things in the world. But it also brings back to me memories of some classic experiences and moments in my career, and some of them actually some of the more iconic memories in all of NFL history. Of course, traditionally, the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys both played on Thanksgiving Day, and it was such a great time when I was with the Detroit Lions playing on Thanksgiving. Have some tremendous memories of those days. But I also, and some of them weren't necessarily on the field, and actually there was one where I was playing for the Miami Dolphins, and we played the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving, and I had replaced Dan Marino. He was injured. I came in and played, and I was actually hurt, and I wasn't playing in that game. But many of you will remember, of course, Leon Lett trying to pick up the blocked field goal, and you remember Keith Byers doing snow angels in the end zone. And then, of course, the Miami Dolphins got to kick the ball again, and we won the game. Ironically, the holder at that time was Doug Peterson, who's now the head football coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, who just won a Super Bowl. And I had actually been the holder until I started playing, which didn't matter because I wouldn't have held in that game anyways. But that was kind of a memorable Thanksgiving Day. And then we've shared this story before on Helmets Off. After the only time we lost on Thanksgiving when I was with the Detroit Lions, and I had a rather interesting conversation with four gentlemen in a bathroom at the Silverdome after the game. You really should find that episode of Helmets Off because it's quite a classic moment in my life. It's pretty crazy story. I was ready to fight four guys in a bathroom, and not sure what happened, whether it was a guardian angel or whomever, just had some suggestions for me to do something else. Anyways, that was kind of a fun moment, at least for me in my life, and it's a good story. But I have to say, almost all of the Thanksgiving games I played in were very memorable. Of course, there was the one year where Jerome Bettis calls tails, and you can hear him calling tails, and the official says he called heads, and he wouldn't let him change his call, and that was for an overtime victory where we won that game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But there are just some great memories of Thanksgiving games. But the one for me that has the greatest memory, at least for me playing, was playing the Minnesota Vikings in 1995. And the game was billed Barry Sanders and Warren Moon. I don't know that it was billed that way at the time, but that's kind of what everyone was like. Yeah, can Barry Sanders rush and can Warren Moon pass, and who can have it? And the crazy thing is that at that time we were actually much more efficient throwing the football, and as maybe we were running it. Regardless, I threw for 410 yards in the game. I had 5 touchdown passes, and we won rather convincingly. And it's kind of funny because I've actually gone back and listened to the call of that game, and everyone's talking about Barry Sanders, and he's got to rush and run the Lions to victory. And going into the fourth quarter, and quite frankly, halfway through the fourth quarter, Barry Sanders had about 10 yards rushing. It wasn't even a factor in the game, and it's just kind of funny when announcers just kind of are trying to build up a player, but that's not really what's happening in the game. And I thought, okay, because I never listened to the media. I never watched the highlights. I never even considered, it just would throw me off my game, whether we did well or whether we played poorly. So I just tried not to read the newspaper, to watch Sports Center, to watch the local news, any of it. I just stayed away from it. But this one week I thought, all right, I've got all these extra days. I'll just tune into ESPN Sports Center after this game because I played so well. They're bound to say really, really good things about how I played. So I tuned in Sports Center, and here they come with the highlights, and they say, the great Barry Sanders leads the Lions to victory on Thanksgiving Day. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Barry Sanders wasn't even a factor in this game. In fact, Barry Sanders didn't even get a turkey leg from John Madden after the game. And you just kind of scratch your head and it's like, whatever. But that was a great memory. In fact, there was a lot, I think all three of the wide receivers and myself got the turkey leg from John Madden. That's kind of the cool thing back then, if you got a turkey leg. And by the way, the turkey leg was actually pretty good, surprisingly, because you think, well, maybe it's just a prop or whatever. Legitimate turkey leg and legitimately good. By the way, folks, before I go, I just want to bring something up. I have a beard, and it's actually growing in quite nicely. Drives me crazy. I've never had one before. But we are No Shave November this month. And by the way, this is in support of the Huntsman Cancer Institute. And we have a link up that you can go donate, or you can sponsor my facial hair growth. And it goes to a great cause. So the whole month of November, I'm actually not shaving. So love to have you be a part of that and support us, because it's an awesome cause. I mean, they legitimately put their money where their mouth is. All the money that they raise, all that they support, in fact, all the money that we actually receive, we're sending directly to the Huntsman Cancer Institute. All right, Helmets Off is now off. You can text helmets to 65537. Go to those social sites and like us. Dial us in on that smartphone of yours. And by all means, have a great and happy Thanksgiving. And until then, we'll catch you soon.